Okay, welcome to another Fusion 360 tutorial. Today I'm going to teach you a very powerful tool in Fusion 360 and one you will probably start using quite a bit of. It's one that I really like, and it's called sketching. But it is very complex, so we're going to start with just some very simple tools. And if you just watch this part, and then and some of the things I do, and then I will give you some time to go and explore yourself, okay? Because then I can explain the whole process. All right, you can see over here I have some bodies. I have lots of bodies and some interesting shapes. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what those bodies were made from. They were made from what we call sketches. And sketches are just like a drawing. They're in one plane or two-dimensional space. So you can see all these sketches here, all these simple shapes. I can click on the inside and they turn blue, and they're all on that same plane right there. So I'm going to explain how that works. So first of all, I'm going to create. Oh, and then I'm over on the browser. There's also a new item. It's called sketches, and you can see I can turn them on and off as I go forward, and I can click on them if I want to. Okay, so I'm going to go File, New. Oops, I need to save that one. Sketches. Okay, and then I'm going to go File, New Design. I'm going to turn on my origin. If yours looks like this, in some of my videos, I always click on this corner here, so it kind of flips it around so I can really click on this, but that's just Mr. McEwen. But up here in the top, the very first tool is Create Sketch, because it's under the Create menu, under Create Sketch, and you can see there are lines and curves and that make up shapes. So I'm going to go ahead and click Sketch, Create Sketch. And it's the same thing as the create box. It wants to know where you want to create this sketch. And you can create it in any plane. And I'm just going to create it on this bottom plane. Now the first thing you might notice is that it automatically flipped around, so we were looking straight down. So we're looking at the top view down at the work plane. And the toolbar has changed to the sketch menu. All right, I'm going to explain that in a little bit. And there's a Finish Sketch button at the end. Okay, and then the sketch palette dialog box pops up, and there's also a finish sketch. Okay, don't worry about any of this information here, but we're going to focus on just really the top few simple shapes, which are line, a rectangle, a circle, a arc, a polygon, and an ellipse. So just these first really simple drawing tools. Okay. So I'm just going to show you the line first. And with the line, you click, and it creates a line. Click and click, click and click. And if you've closed this shape, it turns yellow inside, meaning it's a closed shape. And you want that so that you can actually create bodies from it. So I'm going to create a couple of triangles. I'm going to create some squares. Okay, such like that. And then I'm going to create some rectangles. There's 3 types of rectangles depending on how you want to create them. The 2-point rectangle is almost just like the box creation when you create the first one. Let's create some skinny ones. Okay, so I'm just clicking along. The circle has 5 different kinds of circles. This is a center diameter circle, so I'm going to create a couple of circles. Make a real small one. Okay. And then the arc tool, I'll go ahead and show you the arc tool. So click, and then you pull up and you can kind of decide what kind of arc you want. So I'm going to make something like that. And I'm going to use a line tool to connect. Boom. And then the polygon tool. Click, and as you drag out, it creates a polygon, and there's actually a number there. Did you see that? So if I drag out and I say I want like a stop sign, would make it with 8 sides. Okay, if that made it too big. Let's just escape out of that tool. There we go. And finally, the ellipse tool, which is just making an elongated circle. Boom. There's one. I'll make another one. There we go. We'll be making some eyes with those later on. Okay, so there is a bunch of shapes. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I can hit the home button. You can see they're all placed on that workspace. Okay, so now what do we do with those? I'm going to actually, I'll show you one more thing. This tool right here, the sketch dimension, if you click on that and you click on any line and you drag out, it gives you a number. That's the distance of that line. And I can actually change this. And when I change it, it also changes the entire shape based on the constraints. So this is a right triangle, these are parallel. If I click over here and I try to change this to 6, it just changes both sides to 6. And if I click on a circle, it tells me the diameter of that circle, and I can change that. I'm going to make this a little smaller. Okay. So sketch dimensions comes in real handy when you need to change the distance or the diameter or the size of a shape. All right. Now that I've shown you that, I'm going to go ahead and click Finish Sketch. Automatically, the toolbar goes back to the Design toolbar. All right. And now I can use the Create Extrude, and I can click on something and I can extrude a body. Just over here on the Extrude toolbox, it shows you the profiles, so I can actually click that one out. Like, I don't want that one, I want to click on this one, or I want to click on 2. Now it says 2 profiles, or I can click on 3. I also can change the distance, and I can say, hey, I want it to come out of both sides, so it goes down as well as up, or 2 sides, and I can choose both sides, one going this way and one going this way. For right now, we're just going to stay with one side. Say OK. And what happens is every time you extrude with a sketch, it turns the sketch off automatically. So right here you can see it turned it off so that you can see the body you extruded. So I'm going to turn it back on. And I'm going to extrude a couple more. These ones I only want to be 1 centimeter. These I want to be 0.5 centimeters. And these, I want on this little tiny one. If you can't click on it, zoom in a little bit because it will. I'm holding Shift to select multiple sketches. Okay. And let's go big. There we go. So there we have the power of the sketch. So why don't you create a set of shapes using the Create tool. If you want, you can back up on this tutorial and kind of follow some of the same. Just stick with extrude, but I'm sorry, just stick with, sorry, I have to start a sketch. Just start with lines, rectangles, arcs, circles, polygons, and ellipses. Don't click on anything else at this point. We'll go over that in another video. All right. Thank you.